So the other night I was dreaming that I was running, which in and of itself is nothing spectacular, I guess, because I do run, you know. I am a runner. I go on runs most days of the week, and that's what I was doing in my dream. And I just had like the really cool run, like beautiful environment, and I just kept running and running, and I was enjoying myself. And I kept running and running and running, and I got a bit tired, I got a bit exhausted. Sometimes I wasn't sure, should I go left, should I go right, whatever. I just kept on running. Overall, it was a good experience. It's just that I was getting tired and a bit lost, but I didn't worry about it much, right? So yeah, I just ran. And I ran and I ran. And eventually I got more frustrated because I was like, yeah, but for how long am I going to run? When is this going to end? Where am I actually going? And I just kept running. And I realized at one point I got so frustrated because I had no idea where I was running to. I had no idea where the destination was. And no, I do not want to dissect the dream with you here on the internet. Like, no way. I want to go into that with you, but I thought it would be a very good example of what it is like when you live your life, do your sport, do things without having a goal, without, knowing what the finish line is. And that is what I want to talk about today, because goals and goal setting, I think they are so crucial in everything we do in life, but especially when it comes to athletic feats, athletic achievements, those are closely linked to our ability to goal set. Hold on, I have to move this palm tree because this leaf is driving me nuts. It's like growing out of my head. I can see it, so maybe that's better. Okay, back to the podcast. So I feel like most of us, we've been there in one capacity or the other in an area of our life where we were just, working hard, doing the things, but at the same time we felt like, what is it for? What is it all for? Where am I going with this? And it's frustrating, and it's it feels like you're losing your time. It feels like you're wasting your time. At least it does for me. I don't know if you have a similar experience with that. So that is usually a sign when that is an area where we have no goals, or maybe not the right goals for us. And I think that's something that can easily be rectified and corrected. And goal setting is so beautiful, but it's also been like over talked and over analyzed, and there's so many different ways and so many like small tricks and small things you can do here and there. And I feel like I got really tired of the topic of goal setting, even though I love doing it and it's a passion of mine almost. Like, I love setting goals and working with dreams and making roadmaps and all of these things, but I kind of got like, I heard so much about it that I get tired of it. And I think in today's episode I wanna maybe give you my view on goals, how I perceive them, and also what I do differently. So for me, it's not about using the right model or using the right template and make sure that everything is like perfectly worded or connected to the perfect time frame or something. Like, I have a different focus, I think, when it comes to goals, and I figured, why not be one more person on the internet that talks about goals and their perspective on it? So here we go. And with that, welcome to the Healthy Underline podcast. I'm so excited you're here. I'm excited you decided to listen to another voice on the internet to tell you, their thoughts and their ideas. And I am Lisa. I am the host of this podcast. I am also a mindset and tapping coach for high performance athletes. So I love to talk about all things mindset and really like think about it, understand it, dissect it, and then make sure that it is that it is applicable, that it is operationalized, that's the word I was looking for, and that it is concrete and something for us to use. And that's what I do on this podcast pretty much. I just talk about all things mindset and try to learn with you as we all are on this journey of life. So today it is about goal setting. I have done more content about goal setting, but I feel like my approach has refined over the years. And before I want to go into it, let me just, dig a little bit deeper into why this is so important to have goals. I mean, I kind of hinted at it in my introduction to today's episode, but without goals, we are somewhat directionless. We work, we do things, we train, we rehearse, we repeat, but we don't really know if we are doing the things that helps us achieve living our dream life, that helps us, fulfill our dreams. We're just going through the motions pretty much without really knowing why. And goals are basically helping us to really be locked into our why, really be connected to our motivation and correct us if we are not on the right path, right? Or if we need to do things differently because we're not achieving our goals, right? That's the clearest sign that something is not working out for us if we don't eventually achieve our goals. And that's when we need to look into it. Ideally, we look into it before that, but okay. So I feel like not having goals can be super fine in areas of your life where you don't really want to achieve anything. So if you just want to make sure that you're well nourished, if you want to make sure that you are well fed, but you don't really care how well the meal is prepared or what it tastes like, you don't need to have goals in becoming a really good chef in the kitchen and to hone your cooking skills, right? Then it doesn't really matter. You just make sure that you eat the right nutrients, that you have the right food at home, or you know where to order or who to go to get the best foods for your body, and that's it. You don't have to have a goal in every area and every aspect of your life. But in those areas where you really want to go somewhere, where you really have that vision for yourself, something better for you, where you see something better for you or something different from where you're currently at, that's when goals are, from my perspective, indispensable, because they give you that clarity, they give you that purpose, they give you that direction and that correction if needed. So I feel like if you want to seriously achieve something, goals are the way to go. And I would assume that most of us, we have some sort of goals in those areas where we want to achieve something. The question is just, are those goals really serving us? Are they helping us? Are they motivating us, keeping us focused? Do they help us push beyond the limits? Is it do we just have them or do they serve us? I think that's a really good way of looking at it. And to dive a little bit deeper into what I mean with that, I would like to look a bit closer at what a goal really is. I like to do that, and I do that with goals as well. So if we think about it, if we look at what does a goal do, it basically is the bridge or the translation between our dreams and desires and tangible achievements, right? It's the transformation from a desire, from a dream, from a vision that we have for ourselves into our reality. That's what a goal helps us do. It doesn't do it for us, but it gives us the map to do that. It gives us the tools to do that, the path, the clarity to do that. So you want to go from A to B. A is the desire, is the dream, is the idea, and B is actually feeling it in your life, seeing it in your life, having that, whatever it is, that medal or crossing that finish line or that award or, I don't know, the ring. I don't know what it is that you want to go for. But that's the end goal, right? That's the achievement then in the end. And there is a reason why I stay a little bit vague on what a goal really is, because I believe that a goal is more than just a statement. So I actually like the word map for goal, because it's like a collection of different paths, of different possibilities, of maybe highways and footpaths, and different back alleys or whatever. And it shows us maybe where we will probably slow down because there is a mountain that we have to cross, or where we can go downhill and be faster, or it gives us sort of an outline or an idea of what we have to do, what we have to overcome to actually see our dream realized in our life. And I see it more than that, and it's not in stone, right? Like, we can discover new areas of the map, we can unlock it like in a video game, right, over time, rather than that it is cast in stone. And sometimes you have these people that recommend that you have that goal statement and that's that, like you don't touch it until you achieve it. And I think that's not healthy, because we change, our environment changes, we learn new things, we have new experiences that we didn't have by the time when we set that goal. And those things can all influence on how we feel about that goal and how important it is to us. And I think that is totally fine. Like, we get to change our minds, first of all, always, and also on our goals. And second of all, we often need to change our approach to things because life, there are 10 million reasons why we need to adjust. And so having that really rigid, fixed plan, I think, is probably more hindering us than actually helping us. So I just saw that sentence that I wrote. I wrote down, you become an alchemist. And I think that is true. Like, if you use your map, your goal map, right, that brings you, or that realizes your dreams into reality, you turn something that is so vague, that is so fluffy, that is so like out there, into something tangible that you can taste, in your life. You can see, you can maybe touch. It's there, it's real. And I think if that's not alchemy, I don't know. So yeah, goals help you become an alchemist. It allows you to do that. And let's talk a teensy bit about dreams and achievements, because that's what I said, right? It transforms our dreams and our desires into real life achievements, into reality. So dreams are one of my favorite topics, because I believe that we all have very specific dreams, and we have very specific collection of dreams, and they differ to other people's, right? Like, your collection of dreams, your ideal life for yourself, your visions that you have for yourself are unique to you. We might share some of those. Sure, I'm pretty sure there are many people who want to be the fastest person on the planet. So that is maybe not necessarily unique, but the collection, like all the other visions that you have for yourself, all the other things that are important to you, that entirely makes it unique to you. And we have those for a purpose, for a reason, and that is purpose. It's your purpose in life to achieve your dreams, right? To go after them, to use the tools that you have on hand, and to live that life that you envision for yourself. And that's why it is so unique, because your purpose is unique to you. So I believe dreams are our guidelines, our direction givers, and super important. And I'm always very sad when people toss their dreams aside, because I'm like, no, but that's who you are, that's who you are becoming to be if you just listen to it and if you allow it to unfold. And I always encourage anyone who listens to really trust in your dreams, even though it sounds like a stupid Hallmark postcard sentence, but they are there for a reason. They are there to serve you and not to destroy you, not to derail you, not to, all of these negative things that you might have heard about your dreams. When people call you crazy or people call you unreasonable, and it's always fine and good when we're young. People just, give us a generous nod when they hear about our dreams. And like, yeah, sure, you're going to fly to the moon. Yeah, sure, you're going to be the fastest person on the planet. Believe in yourself. Like, they give you the encouragement and stuff. And then out of a sudden, you turn, 16, 17. I guess it depends on the culture as well, at what age that happens. It flips and they go like, no, but now you got to be realistic. Like, no, you should do something that is more solid, or like, those are childish dreams, and I think that's very telling that we do that as a society, and I strongly disagree with that behavior. So I think there are so many things that we can do to uncover our dreams, because throughout our life as grown-ups, as adults, we kind of forget what our dreams really are, and we forget to just blindly trust them. And sometimes it seems that it's difficult also to differentiate between what do we want because society told us that's what we want, like, status thinking, and, it's usually connected to a specific label, in the sense of like, you are a CEO, or you are a national player, or, those things. Sometimes it's related to material possessions, or like the contract that you got. So, if you're in football, you want to become an NFL player because then you get the contract, and then you buy the cars, and then you buy the house, and all of these things. And maybe those are your dreams, but sometimes I feel those are just injected by society, and they're not really truly your dream, but nothing wrong about it, nothing bad about it. I mean, it's all good, it's all fine. I just believe that having that self-awareness of understanding, like, hey, I want this for myself because that's my dream, and I want this for status. As long as you're aware of it, I think it's all good. I think it's all fine. So I think there are so many things you can do to uncover your dreams, to basically unlearn that behavior, to push them aside. But that's not what today's episode is about. You can, maybe Google it, maybe, do some meditations on it, or some brain dump writing, where you just put everything down, and once you've written down the first 50 things that are the obvious ones, the real stuff comes up, or stuff like that. There's plenty of stuff. If you want, I can make another episode on how to actually go there, how to really uncover your dreams and what's important to you. Let me know. Like, I would love to do that as well. But that's the dream part, right? And usually our dreams, they range from super fuzzy to quite concrete. Like, the fastest person on the planet, that's a very concrete statement. However, there's also then specific environments that, or specific factors that you can count into it, like the fastest person on the planet, which distance, for example, like, those things matter. Eventually, are you the fastest marathon runner, and that makes you the fastest person because you're the fastest long distance runner? Or are you the 100-meter sprinter? Because generally that's what we call the fastest person on the planet. But I don't know. What about 50 meters? We don't measure those, but wouldn't that make you the fastest person? So I think even the concrete goals, they might have specifications, to them, attached to them. Now let's talk about achievement. So achievement is, I said earlier, those are the concrete things in reality, in real life, something that we can touch, or something that we can see, or it's recorded, it's documented, it is real in your life, it is there. It's not just in your head any longer, it is there, and other people can see it as well. And that is basically the achievement. That is what we want in the end, because we do want to turn our dreams, our desires into reality, right? And reality is the 3D world that we live in. So I don't know what else there is to say. It's the final result. It's the what you set out to do, the gold medal, the trophy, crossing the finish line, the specific time that you ran to be the fastest person on the planet, fastest person on the planet, or whatever it is. And again, the goals are basically the magic of the in-between. Goals are the sprinkle and the fairy dust that gets you from that dream, from your desire, into that achievement, to having it in your real life. So they have so many different purposes. They give us directions, they shape our actions, they give us a clarity about our efforts, about what we have to do. They can serve as checkpoints. They are often measurable. They are time related. They come with specific KPIs, like things that you can, make it out like, oh, okay, I got that time, so I can check off that goal. They have performance benchmarks, for example, and you can use your goals to track your improvement, to see if you're still on the right path. It can help you recover from setbacks. Like, all of these beautiful things, all of the magic the fairy dust that I said, that is all, in my opinion, hidden within the concept of goals and goal setting. And that's why I think it is more than just a simple statement. It's a promise. Setting goals for yourself is a contract that you make with yourself that holds you accountable, right? It's from hoping to creating. That's what it is. That's the magic. That's the promise that you make. And there are different types of goals. If we want to go maybe one level more into the concrete understanding, there is outcome. I think there are 3 different ones in general. That's what they say. There are 3 different levels. So there are outcome goals, which are pretty obvious, related to the gold medal, to the Super Bowl ring on your finger, or to the personal best that you achieved, to the distance that you jumped, or height that you jumped, or whatever your sport is. It's outcome related, right? It's very clear, very specific, and it's great for the overall vision, for the overall direction. Usually outcome goals are direct specifications that come out of your desires. So when I said earlier, let me use a different example. Let me use the example of, so you're a ski jumper and you can just envision yourself being the best ski jumper in your country, for your nation. You jump the furthest with the most beautiful T mark at the end, right? That's you. That's what you do, and that's the vision that you see for yourself. And an outcome goal would then be winning the national championship, right? That's your outcome goal, because that's very clear. You come out as number 1. And that makes you the best ski jumper in your nation, at least for that season, in your age group, for your gender. You see, like, we need to be specific there, because you can be the best ski jumper with 16, but you can also be the best ski jumper with 25, so it all matters. But that is your goal. That's an outcome goal. The quote unquote downside of outcome goals is that there are many things that influence outcomes that have nothing to do with us, right? They are ski jumping, like, it could be the worst weather that day. That's it. It's super strong winds, and the winds changed throughout the tournament. The first jumpers had the perfect upwinds that would just carry them down the hill. And when it was your turn, it was the worst, and the, what do you call it? The in run, or when you go down the hill, or the table was sticky because it was getting wetter, and all of these things that will not allow you to have the best jump. So you didn't win, and that is freaking disappointing, but it has nothing to do with your goal. It has nothing to do with your achievement, because those are external effects, external factors that can influence performance, and you can't do nothing about it, right? Like, you could be the best ski jumper in the world, if the weather just doesn't play along, no chance. So that is a problem with outcome goals, because if you only focus on those, they won't allow you to basically go along with life, with what happens around you, and to learn and to grow, because it's either this or nothing. So either you hit it or you just lost. That's it. So the next type of goal is performance goals. Performance goals, as the name says, they're related to your performance, to your own, activities, basically, right? They have nothing to do with any results. So it could be, again, we're staying with the ski jumper. You want to land the perfect telemark. You want to get the best points for your telemark, right? That would be something that is performance related. You want to hit it just the perfect way, and then that's something that you can work on. So they relate to your own standards. It could be personal bests, or specific times that you want to achieve. The classic example, I think, for this would be marathon running, where you want to have a new personal best when you run your marathon, right? That's performance related goals. The last category would be process goals, and again, the names are super descriptive, so they are related to the process, obviously. So that would be your actions, your behavior, your focus that you have, the habits that you build. They help you manage anxiety around reaching your goals as well. So again, the ski jumper, it would be doing leg training, resistance trainings for your legs 3 times a week, for example, right? Because legs and core are probably the most important body parts for a ski jumper, and you do that training as part of your training plan, right? And your goal is to do that 3 times a week. That's process related. That is focused on the process of becoming someone, and they help you build habits. It could be nutritional goals, like you take your supplements every morning. You take magnesium every night before you go to bed, or whatever it is. Those are process goals, and they're very like small, activity oriented. And as you can see, outcome, performance, process, they go from big to small as well. So having that sort of as a template, as a guideline for you, is already a very good way of breaking down your goals. Now, what I do not want to do in this episode is to tell you exactly how to create the perfect goals, because I believe there's so many great methods out there. There's so many great tools. You can look at those. There's SMART goals. There's clear goals. There's so many other ways of doing it. And they all are there for a reason. They all are good in their own way. And I guess you just have to find the one that works for you. And I feel there are other things that are more important about goal setting than that part. So don't expect that from me now. However, in general, what we can do to set our goals is, as I said, we start kind of high, fluffy with our desires, with our dreams, and we get really clear around those. And I mean, we are talking here in the context of sports, of athletics. So look at your athletic goals and athletic dreams and desires. What is it that you want to achieve? And then from that part, before you go and break it down and become more concrete, I would suggest that you kind of prioritize, because we might have many great dreams, many great, amazing things that we want to achieve in our lives. And that is amazing. However, doing it all at once makes everything more difficult, harder, a bit more cluttered, less clear. So I always suggest that you pick one or two that you want to focus on, ideally one. So it is becoming the national champion as a ski jumper, for example, right? And that is then the outcome goal. And you start with that and you work around it, you massage it, you get clear, you use those tools that are out there. And then you keep breaking it down into the different types of goals, into performance goals, into process goals that then help you to be more clear, more specific, more concrete. And that is also sort of on how you then create your action plan, right? And I think that's it. That's the general gist of setting goals. And the blanks that I left here, you can fill in yourself in a way that makes you feel comfortable. I think it's important to stay flexible with our goals because, as I said earlier, life, things change, we change, our environment changes. There is innovation, there is new technologies, there is changes in maybe the rules or the way that the tournament happens, or your sport gets added to the Olympics or it gets removed from the Olympics or whatever. Like, so many things could happen, right? I was recently talking to a sports climber, and for her, a lot of things changed once sports climbing was added as a sport to the Olympic Games, because out of a sudden there is different attention on it, there's different funding, there are not really different rules, but some things changed around it and stuff like that. So your goals, your action plan, your activities, they might change because life changed. So stay as flexible as you need be and stay as rigid as you can be. So what I want to talk about, however, is one other thing I want to mention before I talk about what I believe are the two most important things about goal setting, and that is sharing your goals with others. That, I think, is a slippery path, because on the one hand, I think it's amazing to share it because it makes you stay accountable. You kind of have to follow up on what you told other people, depending on how public you go with that as well. Also, you might get a support network or people cheering you on, people helping you out, people understanding why you cannot join the evening out and those things, because they know you're working towards your goal. They know you are, zoned in to achieving that specific thing. So maybe you'll be greeted with understanding and support from your immediate environment. And I think those are really good reasons to share your goals with others. However, there is also danger in that. One thing is, and I learned that from Andrew Huberman, he says don't share your goal with the world, because once you share that and you get that reaction from other people and you talk about it, you get this positive feeling, this reinforcement, and you feel great about it and you're excited about it. And that actually takes away from your motivation, because it's sort of like you've already achieved that without having to do it. And it might take away from your motivation, it might make it harder to put in the work, and it's an effect that happens in your brain, right? It's the reward system in your brain that gives you the kudos, the thumbs up, and like, yeah, you are the best ski jumper in your nation, you are the person. And you get that sense of satisfaction, and that then takes away from your motivation. So that's a difficult one. I thought that was super interesting what the brain does, huh? And then also there is the problem that if you share your goals with other people, if you share your dreams with other people, it's very likely that they get poo-pooed. It's very likely that other people tell you, yeah, but that's all good and fair, but who are you to be the best ski jumper in the nation? How are you supposed to do it? Like, it's expensive, it's impossible, there's so many people who are better, or I don't believe you can do it. Shouldn't you focus on your studies? Shouldn't you, make sure that you earn money, and blah 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 blah. Like, there have 10 million reasons why it's ridiculous, why you are not the person. And some of these reasons might even be like very valid input for you, and you're like, how can I circumvent that situation? How can I make sure I earn money while I train for it, or whatever, but most of the things you know already, and the problem is that many people are very unhappy with their life, and they have forgotten about their own dreams, and they do not allow themselves to go after their dreams, and they are frustrated by that. And then they see someone else who does it. They see someone else who believes in their dreams and who believes in themselves. And that's like a mirror for them, showing them like, see, I'm doing it. You could do it too. And people don't like that. And instead of turning towards themselves and being like, maybe they can do it, but I don't want to do it, or maybe I should do it too, whatever, they are tearing you down because it's easier, it's more comfortable for them. And I think that happens all the time, and that happens a lot on social media as well, but it also happens in our close environment with our closest people. So I think it's very, very wise to be careful about sharing our dreams, talking about our goals. So be very selective who you talk to when you talk about it. And when in doubt, don't. When in doubt, don't share it. Because your dream, your goal, like, they might be still these little vulnerable seedlings, right? Maybe you haven't shown the world yet what you can do. You know it, you're going for it, but the world doesn't. So don't give them the ammunition, don't give them the chance to just trample on your seedling, to trample on your dreams, and life will be so much harder for you. Like, to overcome that, to ignore that, to build yourself back up is so much harder than just not being trampled at all. And usually I'm not like that, but in this specific case, I'm like, don't share it. Like, keep it to yourself. Be very, very mindful who you share your dreams with. Okay, now, the two most important things that are there for goal setting, according to Lisa, are first, intention setting. I feel like it's not talked about enough. Intentions are so powerful. Your intentions are not your goals. Your intentions are how you want your goal to be achieved. It's focused around your experience. It's focused around your mindset, around your emotions, around how you feel when you do it. So it's the attitude that you have towards your goals, towards achieving your goals. So instead of focusing on the outcome, for example, you focus on the process. You focus on the how. So it is thinking about, how do I feel when I train? Like, I have the best time with my teammates. We are the greatest team that has ever lived, and we have so much fun together. We respect each other. We share jokes, we share handshakes, but we also know when to focus, when to be serious. We support each other. Like, those things, those are intentions. Those are intentions that you can set for your work within the team. Or back to our ski jumper, your intention is to really enjoy the competition. You really, let's say you prepared for the championships and the day has come, and you just set the intention that you have the best day ever. You have a good time with the other ski jumpers, even though they're competition, you still respect each other. You have a good time with your coaches. You're very much with yourself, you're focused, you're grounded, you can feel your body, and you feel like you know that you have a great day. That's an intention that you can set for yourself, and it sets the tone for how you experience something. because quite often anxiety kicks in, right? It's a very human thing. Most of us, we struggle with anxiety, and anxiety is us preparing the future that could go wrong. Like figuring out all of the things that could go wrong and how people react and la 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 la, and anxiety would be like, oh my God, today is the championships. What if I don't win? What if the wind is too strong? What if I slip? What if, people are rude to me, mean to me? I'm pretty sure the audience, they will not like me. Like you start going there, and setting an intention is sort of the antidote to that. It's whatever happens today, it's so important for me that I had a good time and I am willing to have the best day out there. Something like that, and adding intentions to your goals. So, to a training session, let's say you don't really feel like doing it again today. It's the third leg day of the week, right? That's the process goal we said earlier, right? We're having leg day 3, like resistance trainings for our legs or lower body 3 times a week, and you don't feel it. You don't want to do it. And then you go and set that intention of actually enjoying yourself. You overcome your resistance, you know why you're doing it, and you had a good time in the gym. You had, a connection with the people around you, and you really connected with your why and with your desire and with your dreams when you did the workout and you felt better. So that's an intention. And we can set intentions around anything, and it helps us elevate our goals. It helps us alleviate distractions, anxiety, as I said earlier, and it's really motivating because we get to create the experience that we want to have. And the only difference is us being consciously involved in creating a good experience or in creating a bad experience. And sometimes we're indifferent. Like quite often we don't set intentions, I would assume, or I don't set intentions, and then things are just how they are. While they could be great, but I just let it slip. I didn't pay attention. I just let it happen. And then it was out of my control, sort of. And once I set an intention, I'm much more dialed in. I'm much more focused and, part of the whole process. So intentions with your goals, they add the magic sprinkle confetti layer on your cake. It's priceless. Like, really give it a shot, try it out, set intentions for whenever. I set intentions before I record a podcast, because I really want to have a good time doing it and I want to control the experience that I have. The second thing, probably the most important thing about setting a goal, is your identity around that goal. Do you believe you are the person that can actually achieve it, that can actually do it? Our identity is based on different things. Part of it, huge part of it, is our understanding of our reality, how we see the world, and how we see ourselves within that world as a part of this environment. Now, how we understand ourselves is based in in big parts, in our mindset, right? In what we believe to be true. And what we believe to be true are our belief systems. And our beliefs are practice thoughts. So I just, broke it down for you. You have the identity, you have your mindset, which is built on your belief system, and your belief system is done by your beliefs. Beliefs are thoughts. And thoughts that we repeat over and over again. So if I keep thinking, who am I to be the fastest person in the world? Who am I to be the best ski jumper in my country? Like, no, I am lazy. I am whatever, too fat. I don't have the perfect body for a ski jumper. I'm too small, I'm too big, I'm too wide, or, stuff like that. Those are things that we keep repeating for ourselves until we believe them. And then there is this miraculous thing that our mind does. Our mind will always find proof that what it believes is true. That's what it does. So if you think, or you tell yourself, I'm too small to be a good ski jumper, I'm too small to ever jump that far, the mind will find the proof. The mind will see other ski jumpers who jumped further and be like, it's because they're taller. Or you mess up, you don't jump as far as you thought, it's because you're too small. Like, you will find 10 million reasons why this is true, what you believe is true. And that's when it becomes your identity. So part of your identity is, yes, I'm a ski jumper, but I'm a small ski jumper and I'm too small to ever be the best. If that is your identity or part of your identity, becoming the best ski jumper in your nation is impossible, because your mind will do everything possible to keep that identity, to confirm to you that it is true you are too small. I don't know why I went with this example, but here we are. So as long as you believe that, chances that you will be the best ski jumper in your country are very, very small. And it's probably more an accident than a conscious goal achievement. So we all have these parts of our identity that keep us small, that hold us back. And they're usually rooted, like, I don't want to go into all the details of it, but they're usually rooted somewhere in our childhood, some experiences that we had, something that our neighbors said or our teachers said, or maybe there were bullies in school, or maybe it was something completely unrelated to ski jumping. And you learned that you were too small for that thing, maybe when you were 7, Maybe you couldn't go on the roller coaster because you were too small. And that thing just cemented in your brain. It's anchored in there, I'm too small. And now it's related to all things in your life, even though it has nothing to do with it, And it's important that when we set goals, that we take a very close, honest look at ourselves, at our identity, and our beliefs around that goal. Do you really believe that it is possible for you to achieve that goal? And if the honest answer is no, that is so fine. That is so okay, because we all have that shit in our brains, right? All those beliefs that keep us safe or protect us from something from never happening again, right? So we can work on that. If you know that that is you, we can work on that. And you can work on your identity. So I don't know. Let's go back to the leg day example. So you could say, I'm a person who does leg day 3 days a week. That's it. I am someone who does that. And you just repeat that. And that's a belief that becomes part of your identity. You're also a person who brushes their teeth every day, right? That's part of who you are. It's part of your identity. Maybe not important, but it's part of who you are. So you can slowly but surely integrate your goals into your identity, to the point where you remove limiting beliefs left and right, and you believe that you could actually be the best ski jumper in your country, or in the world for that matter. So identity around your goals is the make it or break it. You can have the best goals, you can have the greatest dreams and goals and perfect plans around it. If you don't believe that you can do it, you won't be able to do it. So yeah, intentions and identity work. Those two aspects are, according to me, crucial for goal setting. And without those two, I think your experience is going to be a bit more difficult, harder, and you could have fun instead. All right, I think that's all what I wanted to say about goal setting. Let me know what you think about it. I love it. I think it's super interesting, and I would love to hear your feedback and your thoughts on it. if you got any insight from this episode, make sure that you subscribe, or that you follow me on YouTube, or subscribe to my audio podcast wherever you listen to it. Up to you. You know how this works. You know why it's important also for me that you do that. So please do. And I am currently preparing future episodes. The next episode will be on self-talk, which is also, it's such a cool method. I'm so excited to talk about that. And until I hear you again, or I see you again, I wish you a beautiful rest of your day.